Morning. You're watching this, which must mean this. I couldn't have said it better myself. Welcome to the workplace. It's early morning in April, but there's ice on the car. What's all that about? So while I'm waiting for that to defrost, I might as well tell you what's going on today. Well, those of you who watched my last paddleboarding video, click above if I've managed to put a link up there. You'll see that I headed off from Cockwood and I went up the River Exe. Well, I'm doing a similar trip today, but today, check out the map over there. I'm going to be going a little bit further afield, but starting at the same place. What? How can you do that? Well, heading across to Limpston. Some might call Limpson. That's how it was called in the old days, wasn't it, if you tuned in last time and you were still paying attention? So, let's get over to Cockwood now and have a look at the conditions, if indeed we can get there. Welcome back. Well, here we are, down at Cockwood in the harbour. An old Steve dog, he's always keen as mustard. Some of you know me and know that sometimes I just can't wait, I've got to get on with it. So I got out of bed a little bit early, ignored my own tide readings. And this is what I got in front of me. Mud. Plenty of it. The tide is coming in. How far will it come in the next 20 minutes? Because it will take me 10 minutes to pump up the paddleboard. I can take my time and relax and maybe take 20 minutes or half an hour. Or I can just trudge through the mud. I don't really want to do that. Got the old wetsuit boots on, I could. I don't know. So this week I'm going to actually mix it around a bit. So I'm going to give you some paddleboarding beginners tips, I'm going to call them, or thoughts. It's not just for beginners. Am I a beginner? I suppose I am really. I've been paddleboarding regularly for about a year, although I have paddleboarded before that. But yeah, I've got so much to learn. But let me pass on to you some of my thoughts and tips and ideas. And this isn't definitive, this isn't right, it's just my view. Is there a right way, is there a wrong way? I don't know, probably not. But there's certainly some good thoughts and some learning I can pass on. So, as we go through the video, I'll hand some of those over to you. First up, plan your route, plan your trip in terms of direction, in terms of access and egress, and in terms of parking. Remember as well, always put a little bit more on the car park if you're going to go out and use a paying display, because you might be out there and it might take you a bit longer than you thought, or you might enjoy it a bit more and want to stay out longer. Look at the wind direction and check out the tides as well. That's a starter. It's time to get out, pump that board up, get through this mud. I don't know, but let's get out there. Exploration as well, folks. Train just going past there, don't get me started. Right, exploration as well, folks. Look what I found. A little way down. Someone's left a rope there. I can get into the drink. Hello. Oh, one other thing. If you do try and stand up on your board, just remember, folks, don't look down. It's beautiful out here, but it is quite blowy. Without a doubt, it is quite blowy. So one of my tips would be, as I said a minute ago, go into the wind to start with, and you can let the wind take you home. But the other thing that's really useful to do on occasion is get on your knees. Just paddle on your knees, nothing wrong with that. That way you don't act as a sail, you don't catch the wind as much, so you can do that. And finally, if you want to turn in terms of direction, what else? Angle the paddle to the side, so get it at that sort of angle and you turn, and if you go keep your paddle shaft straight, you go straight. So if you see me with the paddle to the side, it's because I wanted to turn. If it's because I'm straight, because I want to go straight. Let's get on. Well, here we are across the river. Another tip, don't be afraid to change your plans. So there's no way am I going up to Limpson. As I was coming in, and you can see this sometimes on Google Earth rather than on Google Maps, you can get the 3D image. And you can also see on Google Earth, there's some cliffs over there, and you see them when you're here for real, but I wasn't looking for them on Google Earth. So when I was mid-river, I was thinking, oh, you're getting under those. It was beautiful, I'll be in glassy water, but the wind's coming down. It's almost a northerly. They say it's an easterly. It's coming from the north, I think. Next tip. When you're going out, just be mindful of what's under the water. If there's rocks and stones and pebbles or it's shallow, don't try and stand up instantly, because you can fall off and hit your head. So be careful of that. Let's see how steady I can zoom in then with the old camera on Starcross. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to do very well out of that. Let's have a look. That's as far as I really want to zoom in. And there is the monument to invention, as I call it. How far's that? That far. How far? That far. That's how far it is, folks. It's miles away. Next tip, tell people where you're going. Another paddleboard tip. The paddle. I showed a graphic on the side that someone posted on Facebook the other day. It's a really good little graphic. It just highlights to people that there is a right way and a wrong way around to hold your paddle. And I see many people with a paddle the wrong way around. Almost like it's a scoop. Some of the paddles, it is totally intuitive, and some of them aren't. Most paddles actually will have a little logo, possibly on the front of the blade, but that's not a given, I wouldn't have thought. So just have a think about which way around you're holding the paddle. Don't assume you're getting it right. Give it a bit of thought. That can make a difference. When you're paddling as well, mix it up a bit. Try and get your top arm straight. Applies a bit more pressure on you use your shoulder a bit more, get more power in there, and then you can push down, try and release the paddle blade from the water when it's level with your feet, so you're trying to reach out and then bring that water back towards you. There's different paddling techniques you can use. The J flick is one, for example, which might help you go straight. There's all manner of things that you can do. When I say don't look down, you shouldn't really need to look down. Your feet will kind of react. It'll eventually come naturally. It's like growing hair, isn't it, folks? You don't notice it from day to day, but over a period of time you'll improve. But so what if you don't? Doesn't matter if you keep falling in, does it? Doesn't make any odds at all. If you're enjoying yourself, fall in. Great. It's a water sport. You're meant to be in the water, aren't you, occasionally? I would say so. So who cares if you fall in? Don't worry about what people think. Just get out and enjoy yourself. Anyway, enough of all that clap trap. Where are we, Steve Dog, now? Shallow water here. I would say it's probably only about 4 foot deep. It's less than that. It's about 2 foot deep back there. I'm drifting with the wind. I'm heading back towards Cockwood. It's over that way. The water gets deeper out here. One thing I would also say, when you look on your route, when you're going on to maps or Google Earth, just check there's no hazards under the water. In estuaries you might get oyster beds. I know there's an oyster bed in the River Tean estuary, so you want to avoid that. Look out for the buoys. I'm not talking young children, I'm talking these like little thingy bobs that are floating around. Look out for them. They might be indicating a hazard as well, and there's going to be ropes coming off them as well, so just be careful about your fin just catching or snagging, or maybe a leash. You know, you don't want to be a leash to snag on one of those if it is a leash that drags out the back. Most leashes aren't, but you never know. Just be a bit mindful of all this, okay? There he is. I was just going to say another tip: when you're going across major shipping lanes, be aware of major shipping in lanes. When you see, well, you're not in lanes, you know what I mean? There's that red boat there, and I thought, where's he gone to? Where is he to? I thought. I saw him, then I lost him. Is his ripple coming through now? I knew he was around somewhere. I didn't know where he was. Always keep your wits about you, folks. Look at this chop here, see? I'll be falling over in that, folks. Maybe. I would if it come across me. Maybe. Tide's now been dropping for about half an hour, so still plenty of water in Cockwood Harbour, I would hope. But all I've got to do is drift now. I can just sit here and doss. And I'm good at dossing. Ask my wife. I'm really good at dossing. You know, if this was like a paddleboard and dossing at Diaries, I'd have 1 million subscribers only for the dossing. There's another train coming through in a minute. For you train enthusiasts out there, I don't know what it'll be. I've got a hunch. You got a hunch? You've got a hunch. But did you know there's a different type of train in this vicinity? I think it's got moved in, almost like maybe it was introduced, maybe it's not native, I don't know. But there's another type of train in this vicinity. And did you hear that? That wasn't me, that was a train. Right, so there's a train coming along now behind me. Hopefully on the tracks. Whew, this is exciting, isn't it, folks? What type of train is it? Don't beep your horn as you go past me and make you fall in. Right, what type of train is it? It is. Right. That, folks, is what we in the trade call GWR, folks. That is. For all you train enthusiasts out there, that is what we call the GWR. Berth holders only, private harbour. No authorised mooring. Oh, the man might be in here, folks. The man. That's a bit of danger, doesn't it? We're just going to nip in. Let's put the other paddle down. What can they do? Get out of my water. That's all they can say, isn't it? That's all I'll do, though, isn't it? Nice, isn't it? It's lovely under here, it's very peaceful. Water's probably 6 foot deep. Yeah, private, Cockwood. Okay. Ropes and that under the water, folks, so just be a bit careful when you go into places where there's ropes, and always be respectful of the locals, etc. And wildlife. Don't get too close to wildlife, folks, either, you know? No need, is there? Don't know what you're thinking about. Is it going to be deep enough? That's the question. On these neat tides, it's not very deep here. Be a bit careful. Let's get on the knees. See if the thing catches on the bottom, it could suddenly jolt, and then I'm in trouble. Don't want to get grounded. Do not want to get grounded. Oh god, this is daunting. Here's where you need a smaller fin. You need like a 3-inch fin or a 6-inch fin, rather than like a 9-inch fin, which is what I got. This is so dodgy. See this? Not very deep, is it? Just deep enough maybe to get up to that ramp. I think it might be alright. I think we got away with it. I think we got away with it. No, don't ground. Don't ground. No. No way. Grounded. No way. Go on, Summer. So there we have it, folks. Quite a long trip really across the other side of the river on the X today, and then back to Cockwood Harbour. Homer's got grounded. My fin was deep in the mud, probably 2 inches into the mud, so I had to get to the front of the board to lift the back of the board out to get in. Else I'd have been wading in deep mud. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? Hope you enjoyed that vid, and maybe it'll give you a few ideas. Post comments below. Always happy to receive comments and suggestions. If you've got any suggestions for any future videos, paddleboarding or otherwise, let me know. Please subscribe if you can. Give me a thumbs up. It's all good stuff. Train just went by, folks. Don't even say it. Catch you guys on the next paddleboarding, smaddleboarding flips off. I couldn't have said it better myself.